A 13-inch MacBook is better for coding than a 17-inch MacBook. Look how big this bag is.
This is the size of bag you have to have if you want a 17-inch.
LeetCode is the best method of determining how good an engineer is. What do you think about that?
No fucking way.
What? Using a Git IDE is better than using the
You're not changing my mind on this
than the
one.
command line.
You're not changing.
You know, I want you to. Hey guys, it's Coders React, and we are here to discuss some light-hearted tech statements that we frequently disagree with. Let's get straight into it. So, a 13-inch MacBook is better for coding than a 17-inch MacBook. What do you think about that?
No fucking way.
Why not?
No way.
Why not?
Because you disagree with that, right?
Somewhat, yeah.
Somewhat, or like?
So, I mean, it's all about productivity at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And if you have a monitor, so we're not including monitors or anything, but if you had a 13-inch or a 17-inch MacBook, what do you think would be better for coding?
I mean, if you're saying productivity, I think it's obvious. The more code you can see, the more you can debug. The more you can debug, the more, I don't know, the more you can like open multiple screens at the same time, multiple files at the same time. You can have the simulator open if you're doing like mobile development, have your code open at the same. What do you have to do? You usually have to switch between like the simulator and your code,
I do.
your IDE. You do. So you have to like keep switching every like minute or something to go see if you're doing front end code to see what your code looks like.
What size MacBook is this?
This is a 17-inch MacBook.
This is 13-inch,
That's
right?
13-inch.
Well,
Yeah.
let's compare it. You know, it's not that much bigger.
That's way bigger.
The thing is, if you're, for the simulator argument, if I had like an external monitor, I could see that being used. Like, then you don't have to switch. But if it's going to be side by side, like I could have this side by side, and you don't gain that much surface area.
The thing is, I also reduced the resolution of my 17-inch. So it's actually, the texts are really, so I think you've also done it in yours. The text is really small. I have smaller resolution, so I can see more text.
So you can see more
on the screen, yeah. And why are you smiling?
How much can you really process?
I'm telling you, I can. So with
focal?
my 17-inch, right? All right, hear me out.
Yeah, pause.
I can open back-end code, front-end code, and simulator all at the same time.
But what you do? So you just have it there. What are you doing?
No, because I'm like sometimes
like
full
three,
stack.
one, two,
bang,
three.
Yeah, really small. Obviously, I have to kind of like scroll on the code, but like I can. If I really need to, I'm doing full stack development. Then maybe it's because you usually do back end, so you don't.
I don't do much full.
Yeah, so you don't have to. I think front end, and I've seen you doing front end development before, and you're switching. I think that's crazy because front end you're usually writing code and you want to see what it looks like right away.
But that's me being goofy, to be honest. I could do that with a 13-inch MacBook.
So you don't even. So you could do that, but you choose not to do it. So you're just weird.
No, I do. No, I do. When you brought it up, I was like, yeah, I could just have them side by side. Why am I being long
Even
about it?
okay, you know what? Even backend, I just realized when I write backend, I also like to see. Let's say I'm writing tests for multiple, like for a single file. I usually like to see the test I'm writing and see also the file I'm writing the test
Really?
for. Plus maybe another file that maybe has a lot to do with that. So I could just switch very easily. Like to me, it's kind of nuts that. Just to be doing one, but maybe, you know what though? Maybe it's all about focus. Maybe at the end of the day, context switching feels easy, but it's easier to focus.
You know, I got another point for you.
All right, hit me. Oh shit.
No, honestly,
is this it? Am I gonna get 13-inch off of this?
This is the point that, honestly, the main reason, like I do kind of agree with the bigger screen, but the main reason that I like the 13-inch, you know what? I like to consider myself a mobile developer. Now, when I say mobile, I don't mean app development.
Oh, right, I see what you're saying.
I mean mobility.
Okay.
Right? I'm truly work from anywhere.
Yeah.
Right? Like, people need a desk. They need a nice, lovely 50,000-inch monitor, all of that. Me, I can get out of bed, bring my laptop and start working.
True.
I can pick up, go
Light
anywhere.
work. Your bag is probably not heavy.
Exactly. And for me, the most important thing is I just need something light because I'm always carrying it around.
Yeah.
This is a heavy-ass laptop.
It's
like,
fucking,
it's a heavy-ass laptop.
It is so heavy. Like, that's the problem. And I was buying, you know how I just bought my bag recently, a new bag?
That big. Wait, do you have your bag with you?
Yeah, I mean, listen, this is the...
Look how big this bag is.
This is the size of bag you have to have if you want a 17-inch. No, for real though, when I was looking for bags, some of the bags couldn't handle 17-inch MacBooks. Even this bag, because I have my iPad in there too, and I squeeze my iPad with my laptop. I mean, it's a tight squeeze. It's a tight. I'll give you the mobile arguments, especially like when I have to like walk up the stairs to go to a meeting room, and I'm carrying
with your big ass boots.
Even with these when I'm just holding the laptop and I'm having to like carry it to a booth, it's kind of heavy. It's heavy on my foot. Wait, let me carry your one. How light is it? There's no way it's that light.
It's super light. It's so light.
That is pretty light, to be fair. Hey, but how often are we moving?
I feel like we move fairly often, or even
No,
like
we don't. Because if we moved once every 20 minutes, then you might have a point. But if you're moving, like twice, 3 times a day to go to a meeting booth, and really for the most part, you're sitting down.
that commute is kind of long.
Yeah, but the commute, your bag is on the floor most of the time. Actually, it's not though. I have to walk for like 10 minutes,
Yeah.
and I have my bag on my back, and that shit is fucking heavy. To be fair, yeah. I don't know. But at the end of the day, though, which one makes you a better coder? It's the sacrifice. I guess what you're saying is that it's heavier. Yeah, it's heavier, but I get to write a bit more code when I come to work.
I want to show about a bit more code. I can have 3 tiny screens just there. You know, it's a tough one because
yeah.
it is. We did just say better. So mobility, 13-inch. But you know what, coding?
Yeah, for coding, it might be better.
It might be better.
For mobility,
It's definitely so. Therefore, definitely beats maybe.
what does that mean? As it's not.
So for mobility, it's 100% 13-inch. For coding, it might be the same.
Oh
thing.
right. No, but I'm willing to take a maybe on coding than a definitely for mobility.
Interesting. You know,
Yeah.
what do you guys think?
Yeah, I guess that's the question.
just
Yeah, obviously everyone's gonna say 17-inch. I've never met a developer. Apart
I know
from
I'm on
you.
my ones. I know
I've never met a developer apart from you that actually cares about
yeah.
that uses a 13-inch.
I remember when you asked which one I wanted, and I said 13-inch. You were like, really?
Yeah,
What?
so confused. In that moment in time, I was like, God damn, did we hire the wrong engineer for a second?
Also, the way I said we don't, excluding external monitors. I don't use no external monitor, so it's not.
true.
I literally just have my 13.
But then that just makes you. That
It's
means it's
so
just weird.
weird.
That means
It's
it's just
just
weird
weird.
because I only use my laptop in a WeWork or in the office because obviously we have all access, so we can't really bring a monitor. And at home, I use a monitor.
Honestly, a monitor would definitely help, but I just love
Yeah.
working on my bed.
Imagine you might have untapped productivity.
That's
that
what I think.
still
That's
hasn't
what
been
I think.
used.
LeetCode is the best method of determining how good an engineer is. Now LeetCode has been popularized because of Fang. Everyone wants to get into Fang. You got really do LeetCode to get into Fang. And I guess if Fang is doing it, the biggest companies with the best engineers in the world, this is how they scout, this is how they interview them, then surely it must be true. What do you think?
I think here's the thing. So I did an internship at Google, so I had to do some basic LeetCode.
You want to know how to find out if someone has worked at Google?
What?
They'll tell you. They'll tell you. They'll tell you.
No, I had to say it. It was a part of I have it. It gives me. It means that I've tried LeetCode before. So I'm not. It means I'm not coming from a hate perspective. I've read cracking a code in interview. Twice.
Nice.
I can answer some questions here and there. I can build some trees, some maps.
Ooh, some hash maps.
Some hash maps, you know what I'm saying, right? Some, what else are they? I haven't done these questions in a while, so I don't even. What's like the most popular LeetCode questions?
The popular LeetCode
Like what
question.
kind of like hash map?
Kind of a mainstream one. I think because of AlgoX, but you mainstream the reverse a binary tree. I think that's.
It's crazy. I don't even know if I could do any of those things. I'm sure if you told me, then I'll be able to figure it out. But anyways, as someone who's done it in the past, it depends. But for the most part, I know why these companies are doing it, but I think as a start, like let's say startup, for example, means fucking nothing. Someone could I've seen people that can do amazing at LeetCode. Like they can they've been doing Olympiads. Is that what it's called? Like the people that basically do the competitive
Are you thinking
programming.
of Math Olympiad?
Yeah,
Probably coding.
No, there's coding ones. I've seen people that do coding ones that are really good. They can pass that interview. But when it comes to the daily fucking coding, like just make me this simple stuff or just debug this simple code, they can't do it. So then the question is, why would you test someone with something that doesn't reflect what they are going to be working on at the office? But I understand the reasoning. The reasoning, in my opinion, is just because, well, from what I've heard, is because, you're just trying to see how smart someone is. Like really, at the end of the day, smart people can learn how to debug code. But so if you just LeetCode people, you can kind of see, all right, yeah, they're pretty good at they're fast, they're analytical, they're logical, they can solve this, meaning I could teach them. But at the end of the day, I think that's just lazy. I think at the end, you should test people for what they're going to be working on, not some random fucking algorithm. Did I convince you?
You convinced me. No, you made interesting points.
But I didn't I?
I guess with the startup stuff, that makes sense because you wanted to get them up and running as soon as possible.
Yeah.
So let's say you hired someone who was good at doing that. It's pretty full stack. He could, a CRUD expert. That's what I'll call it, because that's really.
There's more to it than CRUD.
That's what you need. A CRUD expert. And then there's someone else who, maybe like someone fresh out of uni who doesn't have that kind of experience.
Yeah.
But they've really been working on their
By uni means college, but go on, sorry. No, go on.
Depending on
just
the
in
audience.
case, I'm just translating for the, Yeah, go on.
And they come straight out of uni college.
Yeah.
The next thing is, so they don't have that experience, but they really worked on their algorithms. They've worked on their system design. Let's say they worked on their system design too.
Yeah.
Who would you say this CRUD expert is a better engineer than this person who's an expert in algorithms and system design?
I don't.
Oh, you don't care?
I don't like all I know in that moment in time is who can make the things I need them to make. Like I don't like. I'm almost turned off by someone that just spent college working on LeetCode. It's just kind of like build some stuff. Especially if you're going to work in a company where you actually have to build things. I want you to build things. Show me you can build things. I don't want you to be spending the whole time trying to get the best marks in college and get like perfect LeetCode skills. I don't know.
Do you think let's say someone can do that, they pass that CRUD. Do you think there is a point in even working on their LeetCode? Let's say not just interview, just to improve their own skills. Do you think LeetCode? Because there is another part of this as a system design, and that is obviously important. But let's say the LeetCode, working on the algorithms, the data structures, things like that.
Yeah.
Even if they may not be applying it day to day, do you think that will make them a better engineer?
I'm trying to think before and after I did LeetCode, because I started coding when I was 9 years old, and I didn't know what LeetCode was until I was 18 or something. Yeah. Did I become a better engineer? Kind of, because I used to code in a way where it was like, oh, if I do this, this happens. I didn't really understand big O annotations.
Yeah. Which is pretty important.
So I'll put a for loop in a for loop if I got it. I'll put a third nested for loop if I have to do it.
All fun and games when you've got 30 users.
Yeah. And those things work, sometimes. Yeah. So I guess I do think about efficiency more. And I can see how someone can learn how to code. And they can make things, but they don't really think about efficiency. How does this work? How does this scale? What's the big O of this? Just, stuff like that. Or careful what you use. Yeah, you could make this whole website by using stupid variable choices, but maybe you should really be using a hash map here. I guess I do think about that. And I will use a hash map right now when I'm coding. Yeah. Just because I'm like, that's better. So I guess you have a point.
I want to give you a scenario. Let's say you had 100 people. To be fair, you have been through this scenario. And it's actually a hard thing to answer.
Okay.
But I want to see what you lean towards.
Yeah.
You have 100 people.
Yeah.
Forget hiring for a company.
Yeah.
From these 100 people, you want to decide who the best engineer is. Can you design an interview that will figure that out?
I'll say, okay, out of these 100 people, put your hand up if your name is Adib. I'm joking.
Excluding me or including me? That's a big question.
His name is Adib, by the way, just in case you didn't know. I'm just trying to gas him up a bit, get him a bit excited. Yeah. But you are the best programmer I've ever met.
Likewise.
So I would like, did you say like?
Okay,
you know what? I take it back. I'm just, no. So if you're saying if there's 100 people, how would I suss out? I'll first just start by saying who has worked on personal projects before. And whoever doesn't put their hands up, they're disqualified instantly.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, because if you've worked on personal projects, then cool. Okay, now the problem is I'll have, let's say, 50 CRUD, like people that could potentially only be CRUD engineers. They put their hands up. Now I have to bring the list down. Shit, now I kind of understand what Google's point is with LeetCode, because what the fuck am I gonna do? Because all right, they can code. Shit.
Would you for the personal project? Would you actually have an interview where you ask them to build something just to prove they weren't lying?
Yeah, but let's just assume they're not lying. Let's assume they've built a personal project. I think then, fuck.
What are you gonna do? Okay, you got 50 CRUD experts.
I think I'll ask them about LeetCode. I'm kidding. Wait. There's just too many.
There's just too many.
Oh my God, I get it. But then with LeetCode, there's not too many. I bet at the end of the day, there could be too many, but I can compare them easily. I say, all right, okay, solve this. We can solve it the fastest.
Well, the LeetCode question.
Yeah. And
there you go. There you go. He has designed the FANG interview. About some system design in there.
Do they care about personal projects? I don't know if they care about personal.
I feel like you know that part, I think that's to even get the interview. Like, I feel if you had a CV with banging personal projects, that would actually get you to the LeetCode part. I mean,
you just cornered me. You cornered me there, man. That was good. That was a great way of doing it. You just asked me enough questions that, shit. I need to start learning my LeetCode just in case.
Just in case.
Because I was planning, if I'm trying to work at another company and they want to ask me LeetCode, I'll say, sorry, I don't do LeetCode.
Yeah, I don't do LeetCode.
You know, the same way, sometimes in American football, like you have a really good quarterback, like Tyler Murray, for example. I know you don't know any of these people, but Tyler Murray is a quarterback for Arizona Cardinals, and he's really fast. And usually all the players have to run a 40-yard dash.
Oh, yeah.
But he just said he's not doing it. Because he was like, I don't need to do it. And a bunch of players have done it. Like, I don't need to do it. I don't want you to
not do it. Was this when he was getting like...
Oh, you can not do it. It's just people like to do it because it increases their drafts. Like they can...
But how was he proven to be fast?
Because he played in college. Everyone's already seen him. So he didn't want to do anything that would reduce his...
Oh.
He only just wanted to do... So I was thinking of doing the same thing. I'm like, yeah, mate, look, I've made this. Don't worry about it. I can do LeetCode. That's what I was going to say. I was going to say, you don't need to test me. I don't need to run the 40-yard dash. I'm fucking Kyler Murray in this shit right now. But yeah, I don't know. But
it's interesting because I don't know either. I don't know. But you can see why the big companies would have to do it.
Maybe. Yeah. I'll give you a maybe. You turned me from
a solid no
to a maybe. Yeah, that's solid work.
Okay. This last one, this one's funny. You know,
let us know if you disagree with it.
Yeah. Using a Git IDE is better than using the...
You're not changing my mind on this one.
Than the command line.
You're not changing.
You know, I want you to convince me.
Okay.
So basically, I use a command line all the time.
All right.
He's a Git IDE pro.
Don't fucking bait me out like that in front of everyone.
Back to your technology.
No, yeah. GitHub Explorer all day, every day. Yeah. I guess my question for you is, have you ever deleted your code by accident by using Git?
No.
Never in your life.
But I was able to... The thing, it's hard to... Because I feel pretty confident with Git right now. It's hard to recollect how that even happened.
Yeah.
But, I actually have done it. And I asked a Git expert to... undo it, and then I learned how to undo it, so it hasn't happened since then.
Oh, really? So you always know how to undo any bad things you do? Yeah,
unless I do like a Git reset hard, then it's done.
Okay, my question, let's just take it back a bit. Do you use, what kind of IDE do you use for coding? Do you use...
WebStorm, I guess. For JavaScript, it'd be WebStorm.
Why do you use WebStorm as opposed to using something like...
because there's
like
just...
Nano or something, or Vim?
Because the shortcuts and commands are just easier. Like I can't click with Vim.
You can click?
Yeah, I use clicking a lot.
Okay, you click a lot?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh my God.
You didn't, you click a lot. So why don't you like the writing the commands instead of just clicking?
Because with Git, I don't need to click. Because you know what it is? With coding, there's so much going on. With Git, maybe 4 or 5 commands that I need. Why do I need to download a whole 300 megabytes?
He actually used 300 megabytes.
Use my 17-inch MacBook to switch to that Git IDE.
I guess, but my question is, but you're saying clicking is better than having to write commands?
When it's after a certain threshold, yeah.
Yeah. But, okay, let me think about this. But, have you ever used a Git IDE before? Like, yeah.
I think I've seen you use it.
You've seen me use it. So all your opinion is based on you seeing me use a Git.
That's
and what
did
you like and dislike about seeing me use it? Do you even like or dislike anything about it? Or do you just...
I feel no kind of way. I'm just like, it feels kind of effort. To be fair, it's actually not effort. But the idea of, because...
Question for you, that because I haven't done this Git commands in a while. How do you see the changes you've made in a file? Do you have to write a command to see it?
I actually use my IDE. But that's different, that's different.
Did you download an extension to do that on your IDE?
WebStorm just does that built in.
So how do you make it show up? Do you have to go on a specific page to make it show up? How does it just show you for this commit, this is all the changes? How do you see, okay, for this commit that I'm about to do, what are all the changes that I've made?
I only ever really check the changes between my branch and main.
Okay, so let's say you've changed multiple files.
I just click some stuff and then it shows up a screen, previous, new.
Of all the files in one? Or you have to go to each single file and then say, okay, I want to see the difference.
All the files and I can just go through them.
But then, do you know what you're doing in that opinion? You're literally just using a feature of
that's
a Git IDE. Because you can do this with command. You could do everything you're just saying with the command, with Git commands.
You see, I think that's the threshold, because that's too hard to see.
So what do you do on the Git command? Git push,
Git add, commit, push.
What do you have to add for?
To add my files, Git add all my files. Any unstaged files, you have to add them.
Doesn't that happen automatically?
No.
That happens automatically for me.
No, it doesn't.
Every time I make a change to a file, it just adds the file. It just changes, it's already there, and then I commit it, and it's maybe my
maybe your Git
ID
does it
is
behind
doing
the
stuff.
scenes,
See,
yeah.
so you have to go to files you've changed and
Okay,
do Git
I
add.
can guarantee you, me just Git add, Git commit is so much quicker than you
So if
clicking
you've changed
to Git.
10 files, how many times do you have to do Git add?
Oh no, there's a command to add all. Git add dot, and that adds all.
But to me, it just feels like you're doing extra, I'll tell you how it feels for me. When I need to commit something, everything you just said, you're basically using two different tools. You're using WebStorm. You still use WebStorm. How can you be trusted if you're still using WebStorm?
Wait, so what do you use?
I use Visual
Oh,
Studio.
we use Visual Studio. No, we won't even get into that. We won't even get into that.
We should have. You can't even trust. How can you wait? Listen to me, guys. How can you trust someone that uses WebStorm? Surely that's not trustworthy, right?
Ayo, if you use WebStorm, ayo, back me in the comments.
There's
you gotta back me.
WebStorm is what we were using when I was 20 years old, 8 years ago. That's what
20.
I remember when WebStorm came out back then, and it was like, wow, this is great.
When did Visual Studio come out?
Visual Studio has been out for a while, but they just revamped it recently. it's complete. It's just it's crazy. It's lightweight. It's not. WebStorm is heavy. When I use WebStorm, I feel like I'm carrying.
To be fair,
I feel like I'm carrying something heavy on my back.
Sometimes I might need to have WebStorm and Android Studio and Xcode.
I
don't know if my 16 gigabyte, 32 gig MacBook can handle this.
WebStorm is crazy. But anyways, my point is you're using two different products to achieve something that one product can do seamlessly in one. As in, you could do the Git adds, you could do the Git push, you can compare files in one IDE in GitHub Explorer. Shout out GitHub.
It's tough because this feels like two things that are just diehard habits.
Let me ask another question. How do you show a history of people that have viewed a file, that have committed to a file, sorry?
I use WebStorm for that.
But there's Git commands for that.
Yeah, but it's the visual aspect that
I
I'm
think
not
you're
going to
more
look
of a
in the
Git Explorer
terminal,
than you think. All you're saying is because WebStorm has Git inside it.
Yeah, that's Git features.
Yeah, so you're basically
So why do I need a
Git
whole
IDE.
other Git IDE?
You're just doing Git add, Git push, Git pull.
Yeah, that's all I need. To be fair, that's a pretty decent point. It is on the side.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Right. Imagine, this is it. This is it. You're fucked. Imagine when you're writing code, right? Imagine when you're writing code in WebStorm. WebStorm didn't have a save feature, and you had to go to the command line and just write WebStorm save.
Or just the whole Git add.
Yeah, imagine Git push or Git pull. Imagine you had to go to the command line and write WebStorm save to save all your files. How would that feel? You're switching, you have to go to the command line.
The thing is, by habit, I press Command S anyway all the time.
No, but imagine there was no save.
That's
Yeah,
long.
you had to go
That's
to
tedious.
the thing. Yeah, it's tedious.
Yeah, it's tedious. I had to go and manually save.
Yeah, you have to go and then type save as opposed to just pressing Command S or pressing a button. Because there's also a shortcut I do Command P and it just pushes it just commits my code on GitHub Explorer. So according to you, why don't you just go to the terminal and just do Command save?
Why don't you?
Yeah, you see that, guys? That's what you call. But you know what's funny? I bet there's loads of people listening that are like, fuck you, Git. Yeah, why don't you? Yeah, I'm so.
Why don't I do that?
Yeah, why don't you, are you okay with that?
No, that would be tedious because not saving something is more, because even when you close, let's say you don't do Git add, let's say you don't add it, if it closes, it's still there. It's just in an unstaged place. It doesn't go anywhere. Not saving its peak. Yeah. That's actually really bad. But I can always just, when I'm ready to push, Git add dot, Git commit, Git push.
Okay, but imagine the Git.
Ooh, I'm sweating.
No. Here's what I'm saying. Imagine the Git command couldn't pick up your file until you go do a special type of save. Yeah, WebStorm would say, I'll save it, don't worry, but you have to press save for me to really save it. So then the file will be changed in the file system. But I'll keep a change somewhere.
Yeah, that's all right.
You go to the command line and type.
I mean, if it didn't delete it, yeah, that's all right. Yeah, why not?
You just type WebStorm save.
Wait, okay, so by that argument, so in this world, so would you rather download an external tool to save it for you? Because you still have to go on that tool and press push and press commit. You still have to do all of that. You just download a whole thing.
I can do VS Code has GitHub IDEs,
if you did that,
marketplaces that you can do.
If you did that, yeah, fair enough. But you have a whole different tool.
Oh, you're saying it's okay for GitHub IDE that's built into your IDE?
I think that's all right, yeah.
I used to use one, but it was just too, it just didn't have, I didn't like the UI of how it compared the code. I really like the UI of how GitHub Explorer compares the code. But I get what you're saying, though.
Yeah.
Then I guess that's a different point. I agree with you in that case. Yeah, in that sense, you're saying, you're in the middle almost. You use your IDE as a Git IDE. But I've seen people that don't do that. Like they do
There's
everything.
no way
with
someone's comparing the changes in the terminal.
No, but there's commands you can use that will pop up something in the command line and allow you to compare it. Yeah, I've seen it before. I remember at Google, I used to see people do that.
You know, maybe I'm not the right person for this argument.
Yeah, maybe, I think you're normal. I think I agree with you. Like maybe you just, you're just used to typing
Git add.
Yeah, I think maybe it's like a thing that feels good for you at this point.
Feel like a real engineer.
Yeah, you know, I'm doing it. Rather than me, when I tap P, just commits, and I'm like, fuck. I didn't even get a chance to enjoy it. Whereas you're like, Git, GIT,
and you know what I do when I do Git add?
What?
I show all the files. I see all the files. I'm like, look at my
Oh,
work.
does it like print out the files?
Because it's red before it's staged, and when you do Git add, it's all green, and it's just
it lists it out.
Yeah. Ooh. It's pretty clean. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, because I don't have that feeling. Because I got a GitHub Explorer, I'm seeing all the files, type a commit message, bang, and it's done.
And you know what's good about having to add? Because you can't just push everything, because there are sometimes you make like a file just for the purpose of testing, ignore the changes to that file, I add everything but that file.
GitHub Explorer has checkboxes next to all the files.
So you have to click.
If you don't want
I'm guessing check all and then untick.
Yeah, you can just check. I don't often have to write back loads of code that I have to uncheck. Is that what you do?
No. You know, I think we'll call it...
to be fair, we met in the middle. I agree. I understand your point of view, so it kind of makes sense. But yeah, let us know if you guys have any questions you want us to discuss for next time.
Yeah.
Imagine I didn't press... Oh, I did.